Only half a year.
Still to be happy about.
You're up too old.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Now the motion man goes to the left. Over the middle. Wow. Tipped up and caught. What an athletic play there by number 84, Clayton Stallone.
Yeah, that was it.
And with her, I know I can win.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Work shoes.
I know, man. You worked a long time. Oh, man. No, man. What the hell? Oh, my God. No way. Talking about. No, man. Hold on, brother. Let me see the tongue. Oh, my God. Who is that coming off the Picking Road ever? Oh, man. Oh, man, hold on. Can we get a moment of silence for R.I.P. Kobe? Because that ain't him on the logo, man. Oh, man. Hold on. Pardon me. Hold on. Can you lift your shoe up? I got a tip for you.
What?
Hold on, yeah. Don't you ever wear these damn things no more. Hold on. I got 3 things, man. Hold on. Let me rub.
Yeah.
Let me plug. Oh, man.
What up? Welcome to Addressing the Game podcast, where we address all things life, all things faith, and all things sports, man. We're going to address it all today. I hope we got a jam-packed show for y'all today. Unfortunately, we didn't have our boy CJ yesterday, but we got him today. But we're missing our other man, our main man too. TB, he will not make it tonight, but don't worry. Me and CJ are going to hold it down. We're going to do what we got to do to get through this thing. Hope everybody's having a blessed week so far. It's about to be a good show. We got some. We're going to talk about the NFL draft, obviously. Super Bowl's over, all right? But me and CJ are going to touch on it just a little bit because I got to talk to him. And he wasn't here for Tuesday for the funeral, unfortunately, man. But I'm feeling a lot better today, and I'm about to stand on business, especially with my boy. And he's going to stand on his business too. We're going to talk about what's going on in the world, and we're going to talk about some MERICA news. Got the halftime show, cap or no cap. We all know what it is. If you don't know what it is, we'll explain it to you. It's a little game we like to play with the audience and with each other. Pause. Coaching we're going to talk about the coaching exodus. Why are coaches leaving college football? Not only the greats, but just everyday normal coaches. We're going to talk about it, and then it's in the description. Are you about your Father's business? And I'm not talking about our parents here on earth, but our Father in heaven. Are you about his business? We're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about our faith journey. And along the way, you're going to hear my cough, because apparently COVID ain't left me yet, and I still got this cough. But, man, hope everybody's having a blessed day again. Before I go any further, let me introduce the man, the myth, the legend himself, my right-hand man, my dog. The video, it says it all, baby.
We just like to put in work. We need to put in work to be better than we were.
Hey, man, y'all give it a big round of applause for my dog, my boy, my dog for life, CJ Rosales, man. Y'all go ahead and clap it up for him. What's good, homeboy?
What's good, man?
Chilling, baby, chilling, man. Hey, for all y'all that don't know, this is Chris Rosales, CJ, the man, the myth, legend, from the G, straight from the G, from the
Straight
goo,
from the G.
play wide receiver. You know what it is, man. CJ, talk to the people, bro.
What's up? What's up? I'm sorry I missed. It's been a little hectic week, but I'm back. I'm ready. Back and hungry, ready to get into the nitty and gritty and talk about all good things with my dog. As always, it's always
Man,
a good time.
You know we're about to get into it, my boy. Hey, man. For those of you who don't know, my boy stands on business.
Oh, you know I do.
And what I gotta say, I said that the 49ers were gonna win, and I said it with full conviction. But as we all know, that was major cap. Major cap, man. Get this out of my face. Man, talk to the people, bro. What? Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is that dude. He proved he is worthy for discussion to be a top 5 quarterback of all time, just based on how young he is, where he's projected to go. Man, what's your thoughts on Pat Mahomes' performance, bro? Before we get into our boy,
You want me to talk about Pat Mahomes?
yeah, we go ahead, bro.
Man, I mean, the proof is within itself, man. I mean, they went out there and executed. They started off very, very, very slow. I think a lot of miscues. You know, Travis Kelce was arguing about not getting the ball. You could tell he was pouting, and a lot of guys were trying to get involved. And one of the main things too that kept them in that game was their defense, and that was the epitome and the perfect selection, perfect meaning of a defensive game. You know, as I predicted, the 49ers were going to go in a halftime leading, like I knew they were, and Patrick Mahomes turned it on, man. When the game's on the line and when it's time to execute, the dude executes. I mean, you see the ways he has. He doesn't have this big arsenal of just crazy gifted athletes. You know, I believe not on a mean standpoint, but I do believe Travis Kelce is kind of towards that age in his life. He's getting older, you know what I mean? So it's not like he's some dude who was going crazy when he was in the league, in the beginning of the league. But, I mean, I knew once they went into overtime, he was going to win. There was no doubt in my mind because the guy just turns it on. Good doesn't win Super Bowls, special does. And he proved that he's special and that he can win time and time again like that on that big stage.
On me, man. And also another person who proved that good doesn't just win, greatness does. My man Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the projection, bro. He stays in the league for another just minimum 5 years, right? Just give him 5 more years. Who's to say he don't win another 2, 3, 4 Super Bowls in that time span? Who says they don't become the best dynasty ever? Now, again, we got to understand, this is where me and you, I think we may disagree, may not. I do think, unfortunately, just by how, and I've spoken on it. I mean, we've gotten into some heated discussions about it. I think just, unfortunately, just by how the rules are and just how much the offense has to its disposal when it pertains to the rules, it makes it just a little easier to get over that hump as an offensive coach, as an offensive player. And also just with how you're incentivized on defense to not hit, to not make big plays. And a big play on defense is a big hit, it's turnover. Those are big plays on defense. And it's like those plays are being taken out. So it's like, I do think they need to probably win at least one more Super Bowl than the GOATs, Belichick and Brady, just to solidify, like, hey, we did it. Like, regardless of what era this is in, we proved that we're going to keep winning, even if and that's why I really hope they change the rules back eventually when we get old dictator himself out, the commie himself, Roger Goodell, out, and we can actually get some actual rules, man. Because I want to see this dynasty. I want to see it happen. Obviously, I like Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. It hurt me to see everyone else on the team win, though.
Yeah,
I did not like them. Even you could admit, like, bro, we didn't want the Chiefs to win. You knew the Chiefs were gonna win. You called it, but none of us want the Chiefs to win.
Obviously on a bias standpoint, as a Cowboys fan, I do not want the 49ers to win.
What? Oh, wait, NFC, never mind. You're right. Cap,
Yeah.
that was right. Yup, never mind. That's like
Yep.
looking at me and saying I don't want the Colts Titans to win. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
no. So I mean, dog, we'll keep it short on that. I mean, let's make a little. Let's just do it. Hard transition time. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, man, and I'm gonna let Brock speak for himself about what he should have did, what he could have did during this game. I'll allow everyone to watch. I think y'all enjoy this, man. This is just straight up. We got the interview. We got to talk to him. We asked him what he thought, and he gave us the raw and uncut. I'm gonna let y'all listen to him, man. Brock had some real wise words to say.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains? Yeah, coach would have put me in fourth quarter.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. Brock had some real words to say on that one. I can't even lie to you. I think there's a lot of things that could have went right, but didn't, because either protection broke down or because Brock didn't see the field and read the field like he should have. Again, coming in as a second-year player, I can give him a pass on that. I can be like, those are things that we have to wait to see progression on. You know what I mean? We have to see, will he progress on that? Will he learn from that? Again, this is really his true rookie year, because this is his first year starting. Just like this year was Jordan Love's true rookie year. You know what I mean? Like, these players, let's see what they can do. Let's see if he progresses from it. He's got to progress from it. I mean, you got the experience now. That's more than most players. Most players don't develop because they don't get the experience, you know, because at the end of the day, you got to be in live reps in a game to actually get that true experience. Now, simultaneously, do I think it would have did Brock some good to maybe sit his first year or two like Jordan Love? Heck yeah, I do. I think that did the world for him. I think if Jimmy Garoppolo would have did his thing, I think it would have been straight. But all this Brock Purdy slander, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't disrespect the man. I think that he's got a lot. He's got a lot of great things coming ahead of him. He's got a bright future, and like, he shouldn't have to apologize for having so much talent at his disposal. He's done. He was Mr. Irrelevant, the very last pick in the draft. Okay, he went from being thrown into the fire his rookie year, leading his team to the NFC Championship. God forbid he got an injury in the NFC Championship game. He's only in second year player. He's been to the NFC Championship twice and a Super Bowl. I can't hate on it. He's a winner, dog. He's a winner. I mean, I'll let you speak on it because this is where I think it's going to get good. But maybe you agree, maybe you don't. CJ, take the stage, baby.
I mean, we all know when we think of Brock Purdy, no one can really say anything that I would honestly say special. There's nothing special about the guy. I mean, when you think about his arm, what does anyone ever talk about his arm? Does anyone ever talk about his speed, his athleticism? I mean, he's a fairly decent athletic guy. I mean, I'm not going to knock the guy. I think he fits well. Want to hate. I know people want to throw shade in the end, this and that. But at the same time, you got to think right now on that roster, they are, if not the best team in the league with the talent they have. Like, that's just inexcusable. I mean, 3 for 12 on third down, on big time conversions, you're not completing more than 50% of your pat. Like, that's ridiculous, man. CMC had 30 carries. 80 yards receiving, 80 yards rushing, and he can't win the whole game like that. When it's time to throw, you have to make plays, and you couldn't get it done. He overthrew Debo in the end zone. That's a touchdown. He throws it on time. That's a different ball game we're talking about. We may not be having this. I may not be here having this conversation with you like that. But he's good. But special people win Super Bowls. Don't get it twisted. When it comes down to the game like that, I mean, you could just tell miscues. The tape don't lie. Bad throws. I mean, you like Shay said. I mean, you have that is extremely questionable when you have a team like this right in front of you, 4 to 5 Pro Bowl people on offense, and you still can't win a game. Kyle Shanahan did a good job, but in some areas they were outcoached. I feel as if they're outcoached. Their defense kept them in that game and allowed them to stick around to give them a chance. And they couldn't get it done when they needed to. You could tell they tried so hard to take the pressure off of him, which is good, and give CMC the ball. CMC is one man. He can't throw, run, catch. He can't do all that. But when
I
it come
agree.
down to see how special he is, can he make them game-winning drives? He couldn't. He went down the field and kicked the field goal. Patrick Mahomes went down the field and scored a touchdown. I mean, what else can you argue? That CMC busted that long run in overtime to dang near put it away, and they still couldn't put it away.
Okay. I see your point. And we're just talking about the Super Bowl. Those are all valid critiques of it. And I'm just gonna go back to my narrative to where I say those look like second year mistakes. Those look like rookie mistakes he made as a second year player. I think those mistakes I can give him. Obviously, they happen. He's got to get better at it. But this was his true rookie year. His true rookie year, and they look like rookie mistakes. But his true rookie year and making those true rookie mistakes, he still made some veteran plays in the playoffs. And I'll tell you one thing. Do we consider Jordan Love a top 10 quarterback?
I don't know. The talent he has. Say you look at him, you look at Brock Purdy, dude. There's a big distinct difference. Jordan Love doesn't have nowhere near the talent, and the dude is just gifted, arm strength, just athleticism, can roll out, actually make a play. But that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, bro. There's nothing special about Brock Purdy. There's nothing.
I would say there actually is.
So you see this Corvette, right? You see this Corvette, and then you see a truck. A truck is reliable. A truck will get the job done. A truck will do what it needs to
Game
do.
manager.
To do. And who is that? That's Brock Purdy. Yep. But then you look at the Corvette. That's Patrick Mahomes. It looks good. It does good. It's reliable. It's flashy, and it's special. It's going to get it done. But then that's what I think it is. I think he's that reliable old truck that just is going to get the job done. It may not be the best, but at least it's with the right things around it, it can get the job done.
Yeah, I would agree. And
there's no I'm telling you, there's no flashes of special. He's a good quarterback. There's no doubt that he's not. Obviously, it takes some skill to get to that level of that. But I'm gonna say too, just like anybody else say, you put Brock Purdy on a different team, he may not even get a playoff win. But look at the talent he has around him, dude. I mean that's uncanny, man. Teams like that do not come a dime a dozen in this league for like that long.
This is what I would say, bro. Kansas City Chiefs by far have one of the best defenses in the league, and they have one of the best defensive coordinators in Spagnuolo. Do we agree on that before I move forward? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So while I'm giving all that, because me and you are both giving Purdy flock for a lot of flock for some of the things that he didn't do. But I just feel like we're not doing the same thing to the other quarterbacks that he actually beat in the playoffs, that he came back and beat. And what I'm about to show you is one of them quarterbacks. One quarterback didn't make this mistake. The other one did.
Pressure up the middle. Runs away. Throws across.
Sit down.
5 yards.
So the reason I bring that up is Jordan Love made a rookie mistake too, just like Brock Purdy did in the Super Bowl. Obviously, I think Jordan Love is more talented than Brock Purdy, by far. Me and you can agree on that. The one thing I can't agree with is saying that Brock Purdy is just so below Jordan Love, Jared Goff, the quarterbacks he beat in the playoffs. I can't just say he's so below him because at the end of the day, he did what they didn't do. He won the football game. He brought his team back, and he had to throw. One thing I'll give him credit to in the Super Bowl is very hard for quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes and only a few others do this, who throw the ball on time from the pocket in the teeth of the defense. Yes, the only thing I got to criticize, one of the things I got to criticize Purdy on when it pertains to his arm, he didn't throw outside the numbers, but he threw into the teeth of the defense. Can you throw a dig route on time with anticipation? Accurate. He did that multiple times in the game. That's very tough to find in a rookie quarterback, nonetheless a veteran. So the reason I say that is because his anticipation is there. The only thing is I think he made rookie mistakes. Obviously, look, bro.
He would have made more mistakes if he didn't have the team he had.
Well, at the end of the day, they locked up Ayuk.
Jordan Love ain't got all that. You put Jordan Love in that position, they win in the Super Bowl.
They locked up Ayuk. They locked up Debo. They didn't do nothing.
No, they didn't lock up Ayuk. They didn't give Ayuk that many chances.
Because
he had two catches, dog. He had 2 or 3 catches. Like
they weren't key factors in the game, though.
Because they weren't trying to get them the ball. They weren't trying to get them the ball. You seen the post game interview. You seen all that. You heard them what they had to say. They were upset they didn't get the ball. George Kittle had 1 catch.
Totally, I understand that. My thing is though, at the end of the day, when it pertains to Brock Purdy, he didn't use them. He couldn't use them, whether they were doubled or obviously the last play that comes to everyone's mind when Ayuk broke free, when Jennings broke free. He was getting Jennings the ball. He was obviously giving McCaffrey the ball. He was trying to use other players on the team because the other players, it was almost like Kyle Shanahan was using them as decoys, which that's a whole nother rant because I don't agree with it. But at the end of the day, he proved that he can use other players and still be competitive with the number one quarterback in the league and the number 1 coach in the league. That says a lot for a second-year player and someone who played their first full season. I got to give him that credit.
Look who's on his team, dog.
But did you understand where I'm coming from? It's like
I get where you're coming from, but it really,
you know what I mean?
You put him somewhere else, he's dog shit. I mean, he's bad, dude. He's not as good as you think he is.
Man, hey, I guess time will
tell.
You
put Jordan Love in that position, dog. Do you think he gonna win the Super Bowl?
I don't know because he proved that he didn't come in the clutch. Brock Purdy did. Brock Purdy proved it. Brock Purdy beat him both.
Look who's on Brock Purdy's team and look who's on Jordan Love's team.
I'm just saying we're talking about the quarterbacks right now, not the teams. Yep. You know what I mean? So one player did it, the other player did not. Obviously, it's an 11-man team. It's an 11-man team. It's not a one-man show. But
that man ain't carry him. You forget to add that their defense got them interceptions when they needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't like this man just had the one job and that's all. I mean, he had help.
On me, I you know what? I can say the same thing about Patrick Mahomes and his defense.
Yeah, well, just like their defense too.
Because they loaded. Spagnuolo was coming. He was cover zero the whole game. He wasn't playing with
49ers had some dogs on their defense too. And
hey man, let me ask you this.
He's making it look like his recess out there.
He is. Let me ask you this though. This is one of the critiques I have and why they don't. And it's the same critique I have with Lamar. Okay, and Brock. Obviously, Brock is a lot younger and he's been aiming in the league as long, but it's still a critique. Homie, we're in the formation is 0 personnel, but obviously they have Christian McCaffrey and other players. So I think it was an 11 personnel formation, but they're an empty. First of all, I don't like being an empty on the goal line. You know, Spagnuolo's coming with 0 every single time. He's gonna come with 0. He ain't gonna have no help. He trusts his defense to lock up those guys. So my thing is, if I'm Brock Purdy, why am I not checking out of the play? Bring in Christian McCaffrey, help you get that split second so you can have extra protection. You know they're coming in 0. Like, that's why as Kyle Shanahan, put your second year, you're basically your rookie quarterback, put him in a good position, homie. You didn't put him in a good position. You're faking a jet sweep on the 2-yard line. No, you're not going with the jet sweep. So you're wasting your time with the play action. And now you got to get your feet set just to throw the whip route to Jennings or to throw the angle route that Ayuk ran, which he wasn't even looking at Ayuk because Jennings was wide open. But then Chris Jones just comes through because it was a missed blocking. It was a mishap on the blocking and on the protection. But at the end of the day, that goes on the quarterback. And if your quarterback isn't ready to make that call on the line, that goes on you as a coach, man. Why are you putting your QB, your second year QB in empty on a 5-man protection when you know they're bringing 7? That didn't make no sense.
At the same time, he got to be smart enough to at least recognize that kind of stuff.
Then that's my critique on both of them, on Shanahan and Purdy, man. And I just don't understand the play design. Though. Why are we faking a jet sweep out of empty? You know nobody. You ain't ran that all game. That's not fooling nobody. So what's your thought on that, bro? Because that's the same critique I have with Lamar. I don't see Lamar make checks at the line, and I think that's one reason why they lost the game against the Chiefs.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, when it came down to it, they just won that play. They were doomed from the start. I mean, they had a blocked field goal. They're already playing behind the sticks. They had a special teams mishap, and it's just you could just tell the way things were going in that game that it just wasn't going to end well, and it obviously showed that. I mean, they overcame a lot just to get to that point to go into overtime, which is good. They could fight through adversity, but at that point, I mean, a guy like I told you, a stage that big, I knew he wasn't going to produce because it's just that's a whole different monster.
Yeah, and again, I think that's gonna come with experience, man. Because I don't think this is his last time. I think he'll
No,
be
I
there
mean it
again.
may not be his last time. We'll see. I mean, only time will tell. This time
And
around there next year.
do you think we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna we got some comments. For a team to be successful, all players have to be able to play together. The other players have a relationship with Purdy because if they didn't, they wouldn't be successful at all. Lots of credit to Butker. Oh, we got a little Kansas City Chiefs fan. Oh, it's my wife. Hey, she going off in the comments, homie. Hey, man, let me tell you one thing though. We got some new business to talk about because it's NFL draft season. We're getting ready for the prospects. The combine's about to come up here soon. I think when's the combine? Like, is it in a few weeks?
Yeah, it's in a few weeks.
So, man, y'all know what time it is, man. It's time for a hard transition. Let's go ahead. NFL draft, baby. We know what it is. It's the thumbnail. If you've seen the thumbnail, that's probably why you're here. And we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about the NFL draft, and we're gonna get into it. Man, first things first. Got to hear your take on it, Chris. Who's going first overall, homie?
Man, this year's such a toss up. I can't even answer that.
Who do you want to go first overall? Like, because I'll tell you my opinion after you, but who do you want to go first overall? Who do you think deserves it?
Who deserves it?
By how they act on the field, off the field, as they are as a person, who would you think deserves it?
I think Blake Corum from Michigan. I think he's just a really good elusive power back. I feel like he shows up in big time games, so I don't know everything about him, man. Swagger, real humble guy. He talks a little mess. I like it, but when it comes obviously the national championship, one of the best teams, he didn't disappoint. I mean, he won the game winning touchdown whenever he did. So I mean,
homie, let's go ahead. We're gonna give everybody options. The players you're gonna see, it's gonna broaden your spectrum. You're gonna remember who we're talking about. We're gonna get into this. Let's talk about the draft, baby.
you mute.
Give me 5 push-ups. I'm playing. That's what the coaches say. Hey, man, you see all the prospects, man. Those are all the top prospects in the NFL right now. And you mentioned one of them. Which ones out of those really pop out to you, man? And you think if you're an NFL GM right now, you got the first overall pick. Now let's not deserving. Who do we want? If I'm an NFL GM in the NFL, which one of those guys you picking, bro?
I'm gonna have to go Blake Corum, man. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I think he's just a really good back. I mean, breaking Michigan's touchdown record and all that, man, he's a dog. Very reminds me a lot of a DeMarco Murray type style. Not really crazy elusive, but gets north and south, one cut kind of guy, and just freaking lowers his shoulder.
You know who he reminds me of, bro?
Who?
And this is when this dude was in his prime, homie. I'm telling you, like, he reminds me of this guy, Saquon Barkley.
Nowhere near athletic as Saquon, though.
I wouldn't say athletic. I'm not going to sit here and say he's as athletic, but the way he runs the ball, the way he shifts, the way his lateral movement is when he jumps left to right, dude.
He does remind me a lot of Zeke, the way he is too, kind of not crazy, blazing fast, but you know.
I'm gonna get it. If I'm gonna get a video of Saquon and him side by side, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because, like, bro, like I think he's there. Give you my pick, man. I think running backs, just like wide receivers, they come in a dime a dozen. I think you can get a starter in the third, fourth, fifth round. So it's like I don't think I would spend a first overall pick on him unless I think personally he may go in the second round. And obviously, if wishing the best for him, I hope he gets drafted in the first round. I wish running backs would get their respect, man. But simultaneously, it's a dying breed. Until you can be like the Christian McCaffrey and you can do both things at a high level, you will not get paid as such. And so if I'm a GM, I'm looking at players right now, obviously depending on my need. I'll give you two teams and I'll let you do the same thing. If I'm the Houston Texans, right? Got a high first round draft pick. Homie, I'm going to get Marvin Harrison. I'm going to get a number one receiver for that team.
Yeah,
if I flip the script and I go man, I'm the Chicago Bears. I'm keeping Justin Fields. Okay. We still got to see something out of him. He hasn't had consistent coaching. Okay. If I'm the Chicago Bears, obviously, if Marvin Harrison ain't there, you know I'm going to get? I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to get Bowers, tight end from Georgia. I'm going to give him a big time weapon. Look, you got DJ Moore. I think he's a solid number one receiver. You got, I think his name's what's the number 2? What's number 11 for Chicago Bears? Is his last name Miller or?
Oh, you're talking about Mooney.
Mooney. He's evil, man. He's a dog. Love him. You got two solid receivers on the outside, man. I think go get you a tight end. Let him be your number one receiver. Let him be. He is a young quarter. A tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. Go back to Brock Purdy 49ers. Why didn't we use George Kittle? Tight end is your safety blanket, homie. Go get Bowers in the draft, bro. I think that'll help you a lot. Spend a pick on him. Go crazy in free agency on the O-line. Please do that for Justin Fields. Please do it. Go get O-linemen. Go draft some skilled players.
He needs some help. He definitely needs some help.
Man, who you going with?
Man, a lot like
Who's the Cowboys? Let's see who you getting with the Cowboys, man. Who do the Cowboys need out of those guys?
The Cowboys, I mean, obviously I'd like to go with a quarterback, but there really isn't nobody real flashy in this year's draft as far as a quarterback, you know.
Jaden Daniels, I like him. I think he can develop.
I think out of him, yeah. I mean, he's I don't know. I'm kind of sold on him for the high level he was at LSU, and he proved that he's obviously a Heisman Trophy winner. He's a dog. I would love that, but for our type of play style, for our offense, I don't know. I mean, I would love him. I would take him. Out of all the quarterbacks, I'd definitely take him over any of them. But, I mean, I would love to see us to get another receiver, but we really need some help on defense, man. We really do. I'd really like to see us go for a linebacker or another DB or some help on the O-line, man. We need some help. Or another good receiver to help CD lay him out, too, would be perfect. I mean, next year he's going to get doubled most of the time, so we definitely need some help.
And I'm glad CD had a breakout year, bro. Like, again, putting my hatred of the Cowboys aside. Guys, I don't think y'all understand. Like, me and him are supposed to hate each other, bro. We are not supposed to like each other. Like, we on two different ends of the tracks. I'm H-Town. Never mind. He D-Town. Dallas. I hate him with the passion, but I got to give respect where respect is due. CD Lamb is that dude. And I think he's a good enough receiver where even if he's doubled, I think he's still going to do magic, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, bro, you got so many. I think the tight end from Georgia, man, he's one of my favorite sleeper picks in the draft. I think people are going to forget about him, which I hope they don't. But ultimately, man, if you can get that cat on your team, and if you already have a solidified line,
he's a big dude, man. Very athletic.
Athletic too.
Very athletic.
Man,
seen that man hurdling people like crazy.
Dude, it's crazy. Looking like the fullback for the 49ers in the first play of the game. Man. But here we go. We got another hard transition. Y'all know what time it is. We're going to talk about some world news. And we're going to talk about what's going on. One of the first things we're going to talk about the border crisis, man. If you haven't heard, The border has been ridiculous, bro. It has been ridiculous. It is crazy just how many military age men are coming across the border, let alone just military age men from Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, all these other places, right? Dude, I'm not going to be surprised if we end up having some type of and I expect it to fully happen either this year, if not next year, like some type of scale 9/11 scale attack. Because we've had over 1 million people, bro, come through our border alone. And we're not even halfway through the year yet, bro.
That's crazy.
Like, look, man, let's put politics to the side. Like, are you going to let a stranger into your house?
Nah, dog. No.
No, you can't. And me and my wife were talking about it too. And it's like, dude, we have to know who's coming in this country. One of the worst parts about this issue is sex trafficking. That's the number one slave trade in the world. It's in America is the number one consumer of it. We are allowing people to be sex trafficked all the time. And it's just it hurts me, bro, because that's the hugest thing, man. But also just how many people are coming over here, dude. In Chicago right now, Chicago Section 8 apartments, projects. People in low income need these housing to be able to level up in their life. I've had to live in the projects. I know what it's like. It saved me and my family's life. When you use it the right way, obviously, there's plenty of people who you don't use the correct way. But we are putting people who don't live in this country ahead of American citizens right now. They are putting illegal immigrants in these project housing, and they're leaving American citizens dry. New York right now, they're currently asking people to house illegal immigrants in their own homes. They're canceling schools in New York right now because they're putting illegal immigrants in the gyms. Like, that's crazy to me, dog. And I'm gonna show a video, man. It's kind of just get a little more detail what it is. It's a short clip, but it kind of speaks on a little detail of how significant it really is.
Iraq, Syria.
Is there a fair bit of gang affiliation among
Always. These people are just crossing the border illegally, waving their hands in the air at our cameras, saying, hey, here I am, come get me. We're no longer the border patrol, we're the welcome patrol.
the number one site in America for fentanyl trafficking across the border? And if Joe Biden remains in office, it's only going to get worse.
Man. And obviously, I do have another video. It kind of goes into detail about what is going on at the border, because I think people need to be aware of this issue, man. And it's an issue. People can see it as divisive, but I think this issue is important to talk about because at the end of the day, man, this is going to hurt the American citizens, me and you and everyone watching this.
Migrant that is lacing a threat to Americans when people ask him, who are you? Where are you coming from?
If you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're going to know who I am.
Soon you're going to know who I am. Did that accent sound to you like a Mexican accent? It didn't sound like one to me. The internet sleuthed and tried to determine who exactly that person was because obviously it seems like he is threatening us. It is being speculated that that individual is Mavsum Samadov. Mavsum Samadov leads the Azerbaijan Islamic Party, and they have close ties to Hezbollah. So yes, it is being speculated that at this moment, terrorists, people that hate the United States, are being allowed over the border. And what they're going to do, well,
Man doesn't realize he's on mute.
Bro, and I'm glad that she mentioned it because most people stereotype it. It's just Mexicans coming across the border. No, most Hispanics that generally come over here, they're coming over here to work. Yes, there's a way to go about it. I respect how they're supposed to do it, but at the end of the day, there is a legal way to come here. But that's not the people coming across, and we can't stereotype it as such. No, the people coming across here, they don't like us, bro. They don't care if you're white, brown, black, yellow, pink, blue. They don't care who you are. They are coming to destroy America and everyone in it. We've already had 1 million people cross to the border, bro. What month are we in? February, right? We're in February. Dog, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. How many of those people are military age men? How many of those people are looking to have a 9/11 seismic attack on America? Like, these are issues, man. Like, we got to take politics out of it. We got to take the race card issue out of it. Just look at it from protecting our families, protecting your family, all the audience protecting your family. What do we do with this issue? Because at the end of the day, politicians are letting these people come across the border. And what are they going to do? They're going to try to make it legal for these people to vote. And what happens if someone lets you obviously we have a lot of downfalls in this country. I'm not saying this is a perfect country, but hell, I'd rather live here than all these third world countries. We are blessed. We're doing this right now. This ain't allowed in other countries. You know what I mean? I'm blessed. We are blessed. But at simultaneously, man, what our government is doing to be able to get votes. Leftists, radical leftists, I'm not just calling out Democrats, but there's a lot of radical Democrats and radical leftists allowing these people to come in the border. They're trying to make it legal for them to vote. So that way they get more votes. So that way they can be a career politician and make money off all these corporations that are sending all these guns and all these ammunition and stuff to keep these proxy wars going. It's a cycle, bro. And they're doing this to gain all this stuff, man. I hate it, but I think this is an issue that needs to be brought out, as triggering as it can be for some people. I mean, the facts don't lie, man. I mean, the fact that they're letting these people over, there's a video that's going out right now, and they're saying, if you get the chance to be able to vote when you become a citizen, who are you going to vote for? Oh, Biden. Easy. Biden. He let us come, you know? And why wouldn't you? You let me come, I'm going to vote for the person who let me come here, obviously. But simultaneously, man, like, they're going to destroy the country doing that. And I think it's only going to cause tensions to rise between, it's going to make left and right, and people are going to start being tribal. America is the principles off of America, and what we're built off of is we're supposed to be able to be a mixing pot and to move forward. But man, the more I get into it, the more I'm thinking, man, the different ideas we have and how radical it's becoming on one side of the spectrum. I don't know, man. I don't see how things are looking up, especially the closer we get to election, man. But Chris, I want to hear your thoughts on this, man. Talk to us.
Man, that's kind of scary, like you were saying. Once you think about it, the thought that, I mean, like she even said in the video, clear as day. You know, I agree. I mean, not all of them are probably Mexicans. You know, the freaking Hajis or Taliban, whatever you want to call them. You know, I ain't trying to be racist, I guess you could say. But I mean, what's going on right now in this day and age? I mean, it's scary, man. I mean, I know it's a little off topic, but I mean, you've seen the stuff at the Lakewood Church. You know, at the Kansas City thing when there was a shootout. I mean, it's getting sad where now you have to think about even remotely carrying a gun to church, you know, just with you, you know, like that's scary. Just everything right now that's going on.
Man, yeah, we touched me and T, we touched on the Lakewood Church shooting, man, and that just goes down to affirming people in their mental illness. You know what I mean? When it pertains to that gender ideology stuff, man, it's like, I wish I could show y'all the picture. I sent it to Jade this morning. I was subbing because during my plan period, that's supposed to be time for me to plan and stuff, and also just take a break if I need it. It's a 15. I get almost an hour. Well, I choose to sub because it's extra money. I'm a teacher. I don't make that much money, you know. So I just sub during that period, and it's easy, dude. The type of stuff these kids are getting taught in school is so bad. I go into this teacher's classroom. I posted it on Gram, but then I deleted it because I was like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to deal with all that. You know what I mean? But then I was like, I sent it to some family members. I'm like, dog, look at this person's desk. It's cluttered. It's horrible. Like, no, this is a history class. I don't see no maps. I don't see no historical figures. I don't see it. First of all, and you would think by how woke this teacher is, she would have something to show that she was virtual signaling. You know what I mean? She ain't got nothing. She just got all this junk. And I looked to my right. My wife had pointed out to me in the picture because I didn't even notice it. And it's just right here, plain as day. There's a huge pride flag. Huge pride flag. So it goes to show where our priorities are, dog. We are over here.
It's horrible, bro. It's horrible.
We're We're affirming people in their mental illness. There's kids in my school right now that currently think that they are a boy when they are a girl. They want to go by, or there are teachers in my school that go by mix, not Mr., not Mrs., mix. I don't know what a mix is, bro. But obviously you're showing that it's okay to be like this. You're affirming people that it's okay. If there's a psycho on the street and he needs to go to the psych ward, we're not going to affirm him and his mental illness. Why are we doing it with people who have gender dysphoria?
Crazy, dog. Crazy.
Hey, man. But I just felt we needed to touch on that subject. When Chris gets quiet, I know it's time to transition.
No, I'm just soaking it in, man. I'm interested to hear about all the border stuff, because
on me,
truth be fact of the matter, I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'm just soaking it in, listening.
Yeah, man. I think Biden has this open border policy, which is not necessarily a policy, but it's not titled an open border policy. But we have an open border. Come through. That's basically what it is, man. It's scary, bro. People love to play the race card, and they try to label you a racist or a bigot whenever you go like, nah, bro, that's actually an issue. You're a racist. You're a bigot. You're all these other things. They're going to label you, and it's like, dude, no, that's not what it is. But we need to know who's coming in this country because guess what? I think it was over $100 billion. I think it was $120 billion taxpayers spend on illegal immigrants every year. You know how much a border wall cost? 80% less than that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, dude.
So you look at all these other countries that got border walls, they don't get titled racist. They don't get titled bigots or I'm not even going to try to say that word, but they don't get titled all these things, man. Like, no, we should be paying attention who's coming into our country. And I think, a lot of things that are going on in this country are being swept under the rug, or they're being manipulated to point out, oh, the rights are bad, the conservatives are bad, or if you're an Uncle Tom, if you vote or think this way. I'd say just be everyone on this podcast listening, be an independent thinker. Don't go right or left because it's right. No, what is Christ telling you? What does the church tell you? Go that way, okay? In my stance, I go by doctrine. I'm Catholic, so we have over 2,000 years of church doctrine that has been passed down by all the disciples and all the teachers, as we call popes, all the leaders of the church. They have passed down. We have doctrine that has gone down, that has been passed down for thousands of years. I follow that. I follow that because Christ gave us a way to follow him. Christ didn't just leave us be and be like, hey, it's however you interpret the Bible. Do you, if you want to interpret it this way, he wants to interpret it this way. If you want to live your life this way, it's okay. Kumbaya. No, there's an actual set doctrine. There's a catechism. There's a way to understand things and to do things and to follow Christ. Follow Christ. Walk the narrow path. Because when you start getting political, that's when you start getting tribal. That's when you start picking sides. No, I just want to pick the side that Christ is on. That's all I'm concerned about. And right now, there's a few things that the left does correct. There's a few things the right does correct. At the end of the day, I go wherever Christ and his doctrine is leading me. And I'm sorry, abortion will never be a part of that because that's contradictory to everything in Christianity. I'm sorry, birth control will never be a part of that because that's contradictory to everything in Christianity. I'm sorry, I won't follow this transgender, this gender dysphoria. That's contradictory. This LGBTQ, ABCDEFG community, I won't follow it. I can't follow these things because at the end of the day, it's not worth my soul. There's things you have to sacrifice. And I think if we learn how to sacrifice, because at the heart of religion is worship. And at the heart of worship is sacrifice. What are you sacrificing? Are you following the narrow path? Because following the narrow path is hard. It's not supposed to be easy. The gates of hell are wide open, and they're for everyone. That's where our natural projection is hell. You have to choose God. You have to choose love, because at the end of the day, it's not based on your emotions. It's based on a choice. And man, if we look at it from that standpoint, as a country, as a nation, I think we can get back on the right track. But it will never happen until we designate Christ as king, and until we do that as a nation and get back to our foundation as a country. Even though it's kind of skewed, I think things will end up better. But man, sometimes, man, I just think, man, Whew, I ain't even gonna say it. Hey, but that's enough of that. We're gonna go ahead. It's halftime. It's time for the halftime show. Y'all know what time it is, man. Time for a very, very, very. Oh, here we go. Chris, halftime show. We got a game. You know what the game is. It is or no cap. We about to play.
No cap.
CJ, you want to tell the people what the game is? Talk to them. Tell them what it is. What we're gonna do.
Basically, cap or no cap, we'll say something, and if you disagree and you think it's wrong or what you don't believe in, then you just basically say that's cap, and you say why it's cap. And if you believe it's no cap, I mean, if you agree with it and you like it and you have your thoughts and ideas about it and you can prove that, and then that's no cap. Pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty little simple game. Simple game.
Hey, you never know, bro. You might have that 60-year-old in his house. Got to do that shit.
Hell yeah.
The hell's no cap? I don't even know what that means, boy. You gonna have to speak. You know what I mean? They're gonna get loud. They're gonna get frustrated. Then they're gonna unsubscribe. Then they're gonna unsubscribe from the channel. So that's why I had to have my boy explain it to y'all. So
easy. It's easy, I promise.
Very easy. And for our audience, please communicate with us. Let us know. Do you think it's cap? Do you think it's no cap? Explain. Get in the comments. Let's go. Here we go. First question. The UFL, my boy. It's looking good. I can't even lie to you. It's looking really, really good. How am I going to put this, man? The UFL, at the end of the day, I think is going to be a success, okay? And before I get to the question, I think who's ever sleeping on spring football need to stay asleep because you're going to miss out on some really dope stuff, man. But ultimately, the new UFL Spring League is a must for players and for fans. CJ, is that cap or no cap, my boy? And kind of speak in depth in this because I got something I got to show the people.
Well, on a success rate, I think it's going to be, cap. And the reason why I say this, because year in and year out, I'm not against the idea. I actually like it a lot, honestly, truthfully, as a big football fan, as an athlete. I've always liked it, but for some reason, it never really pans out, you know. I understand a lot of it is a lot of sorry, I'm fixing my hand, I noticed it. A lot of it is a lot of not NFL rejects, just dudes who've been cut, just guys who never really got that chance. And I feel like that's what makes it more fun to watch with all these guys who have the opportunity to present themselves and prove that they can make it to the league. But for some reason, you've even seen it year in and year out. It seems like I guess maybe the views aren't up, maybe the rules, the way they try to do things. Last year I thought was pretty good. That was the USFL and I liked it. But the way it's ran obviously is going to play a huge part in it, and obviously money and everything else willing to pay these players. But I like it personally, but just from the track record of it, it never really works out. You may go for the year and then just not work out in the end. So I think that's cap.
Hey, man, I'm not going to lie. The XFL was popping last year. The USFL, the numbers were down a little bit, but I think the merger was needed. And for those of you who don't know, the USFL and XFL, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he owns both of them now, and they came together, and now they create the United Football League. Man, I'm excited for it, and I think it's going to be I really feel
it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be no cap for me. You know it. They're going to be successful. 10-year run, 20-year run, 50-year run. I hope. Please, man. I love me some spring football. And most of these cats, man, one of my mentors, one of my big bros, brother, Martrell Spate, man, it's one of the things that's helping his career stay alive and him be able to have that opportunity in the NFL. I was blessed enough that I got to go see him play last year when he was playing for the Las Vegas Vipers. When I went to Dallas with him and got to see him, me and the fan band, we went to go hang out with him and went and ate dinner with him, man. And it was a great time, man. And just to see the light in his eyes, to see how grateful he was, even though he's still hungry, man. He's still shooting to get there, man. And I think the NFL is so political, man. But if they could just give that man an opportunity, he's a monster, dog. But the spring league is doing exactly what he needs, giving him that opportunity to show his talents. He's 30 years old, man. He's still got a few years on the clock. He's still got some time just because he's had those years in the NFL already. And I think for cats like him and even cats that are younger, it does them a huge benefit. And I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson is the person you want running this league, man. You want Dwayne, bro. You need The Rock running it. So I think that we're extremely blessed to be having a guy like that running it. I mean, because he's about his business. He ain't gonna fold for nothing. And he's hungry, and he wants to give that 54th player that opportunity. Because, man, if you don't make that 53, you can be the 54 here in the UFL. We'll give you that opportunity, and we'll send you back to the league. That's the number one thing I like about him. He don't hinder his players, man. He wants his players to go and be great. I'm excited for it, man. And personally, and it was something, it was giving me a shine of hope. You know what I mean? Like, before I had my injury, like, that was a route, if I was going to even have a chance to make it, that was a route I was going to have to take. You know, for players like me, like you, Tylin, that's huge for us, especially for cats who didn't have the most successful college careers but are still hungry to try to prove themselves. So, man, I personally think it's a great thing. And it's a no cap for me. Y'all know what it is, man. I can't even speak on it anymore. But here we go. Second question. It's kind of funny. You're going to laugh. Donald Trump, he wins the 2024 election.
No cap.
Hey! No cap.
No cap. Straight business. Standing on
Speak into it, man. Why you feel like you're gonna win, bro? What's going on?
Have you not seen this? Have you not seen this man in the office who's in there right now? I ain't gonna lie. If you vote for Biden next year, anybody, I'm not cool with you. Don't talk to me. I'm not gonna be your friend. That just is what it is. But man, I'm tired of these dang gas prices. I'm tired of this economy going down. Tired of these taxes. I'm single and I gotta barely get any tax back. Like, come on, man. I'm sick of this. I just want to curse sometimes because that's just the way I talk. But Lord, no cap. Everyone, oh my God, everybody should agree this man is making a comeback.
Hey,
I ain't even touching on it because you already know. Everybody knows why, and I ain't even gonna. That's all I gotta say about that because it's gonna get me riled up over here talking for an hour about the same stuff. But you already know, man. This world's going crazy. We need the man, the myth, the dog, the OG of the OGs, the man who says it how it is, and people too soft to handle that. But that's what we need, man.
On me. And I look for all the people that think for Trump who thinks he's a racist. Obviously, go back, look at the videos that are not compiled by MSNBC, CNN, Fox. Go look at the clips in full context and then make your decision. Because the media really lied heavy on this man. But at the end of the day, though, like, then I'm not sitting here like, obviously Trump, he's not Jesus. We don't love him like that, but we want him like that because he showed that he can run a country. And also, guess what? You can't buy him. You can't buy him. These other politicians, bro, they get these corporations. They get these corporations. They get these big money. They get these big money people like Bill Gates and other people to support them. And guess what? If you don't have them supporting you, you will not have those. You will not be able to have campaigns and have all these debates and everything like that because you can't afford it. Trump, he can afford it. You can't buy him. You can't. And look, at the end of the day, man, what I would speak on to is like whether you do like Biden or not. All right, just like God bless you. We still love you, but it's like there comes a point to where you see what he's doing to our country, and you're still so caught up in just being a leftist and a Democrat, or you're so like, even if you're just a right-wing Republican, you're just for Trump, you're blinded. Like, no, don't be that way. We're not saying that. Go look it up for yourself, make your decision, be an independent thinker, and then choose who you think is best for office. But don't just choose a side just because they're Democrat or Republican. You know, the only reason why I even vote Republican because it's more in line with my faith than the other side is. Obviously, if we have an independent or a Democrat that condemns abortion, that proclaims Christ is king and all these other things, like, I'll vote Democrat, you know? Obviously, I'm not concerned about left or right. I'm concerned about right. You know what I mean? Right and wrong. And I want who's going to run this country the best, man. And I mean, if you vote for Biden, I don't hate you. CJ don't hate you. But at the same time, though, it's hard to be friend. It's hard. it's hard to communicate with people who are so for Biden. Generally speaking, most people, there are a few people that may not be this way, but generally speaking, because they're so caught up in their emotions, they can't have a dialogue with you because they already have their
mind made up about it, dude.
They already think you're a bigot and a racist.
Beliefs. You can't change that. That's it.
CJ, they think you're a brown-skinned man, my boy. They think you're a bigot and a racist. They think you're a bigot and a racist, dog.
That's nonsense, man.
And this is my thing. Like, that's ridiculous. Or if you're black, they think you're Uncle Tom. Like, no, that's not the case, my guy. What we're trying to do is we're trying to look at things in context, see the facts, see what's happening with the country, make the best decision from there. That's it. That's all we're trying to do. We're not concerned left or right. Be an independent thinker. Look for the facts yourself. Look at things in context, not out of context. If you're going off of Instagram and that's how you're doing your voting block, I'm sorry, that's wrong. You're very ignorant. You don't need to do that, okay? And God bless you, but you need to look at these things, man. You need to look at things as full scope and actually compare and contrast. But it's very hard to get along with people who just have their mind made up and aren't willing to have an open mind with just simple discussion. They already have you're a bigot and a racist and a MAGA writer. Like, dog, no, that's not what it is. We're looking at left and right and wrong, which way fits in with my religion, following Christ, the best. I'll choose accordingly. And if you can't discuss that, we can't be your friends. I can't be friends with people who are just going to automatically just label you as such. And then what am I supposed to get on? Am I supposed to be like the Super Bowl and get on your feet and kiss your feet and rub your feet? And go back on that Super Bowl commercial. You know, Jesus, he did that for his disciples, people who repented, people who changed their life to follow Christ. He met them where they were at. For the people who may be LGBTQ, for the people who may be transgender, he'll meet you where you're at. God loves you. God will do anything for you, but he meets you where you're at to tell you to come where he's at, not to stay where you're at. He doesn't have a submissive love for unrepented sinners. A saint is someone who falls and gets up and keeps trying.
Yeah.
A sinner is someone who falls and stays down and is okay with it. Guys, all I'm saying is, man, no cap, that boy gonna win the election this year. Y'all already know what it is. Question number 3. Are we going to have a civil war?
Oh, man.
Hey, we'll be quick with it. We'll just answer it.
Yeah, that's a deep one. That's going to take forever. But
you can talk.
Honestly, I think we will in the future have one. There's no doubt in my mind that we will have a war, civil war.
No. We're playing. Hey, so no cap. You think we're going to civil war, dog?
I hate to say it, but just man, the world is so crazy. You never know, man.
We're tribal, dog. We're
you
all
here
about
today, gone tomorrow, but that kind of stuff, man. It's just sad. You know, borderline just the way the world is. It's bound to happen eventually. There's reasons why there's textbooks about past wars. There's one that's bound to happen eventually. You tell me we're going to go all through life and not having another war? Nah, no way.
Man. No cap. As much as I don't want to say that, bro, because I don't want to believe that, but
I mean, just reality, man. You got to be real at some point.
I just don't see it, man. We're too left and right, Democrat, Republican. I don't see it. I don't see how we maintain our cool after this election. I just don't.
Yeah.
There's one side I think will try to be rational about it. Obviously, you have your stupid. Obviously, you're gonna have your stupid. You're gonna have your stupid. You're gonna have your stupid folks that think that. Excuse my language, but I mean it's true. You're gonna have your stupid folks that think, oh, it's right or nothing. It's right or nothing. Republican, right? And they can never do no wrong. I mean, Republicans and we're talking about politicians. We're not talking about the citizens, guys. Okay, so please don't get offended. politicians are not trustworthy, especially career politicians. I'm sorry, they're not. Mitt Romney is not trustworthy, dog. I'm sorry. You can't trust these people. They are career politicians. For the reason why don't we have a limit on how long you can be in a politician is wild to me, but they make so much money. It's crazy. And it's because they know the stock market. They know the ins and outs of it. They've networked like crazy. They know people. They can make all this money, man. And it's quite ridiculous that we are able to have a career politician, ex-vice president Joe Biden. Like, it's crazy. You can be in office for 40 years doing all these different things. No, bro. Serve your time, work your way up. Once you get to the top, you're done. But you can't stay. Because at the end of the day, you learn too much, you know too much. Like, dog, how do you make a 6-figure salary, but you're worth millions of dollars? Dude, no cap, man. I as much as I don't want to say that, everyone's tribal. People, and when you deflate religion and you become so idolized, right and left, when you idolize being when you idolize the political spectrum and just what's going on in politics, obviously you're going to hate the other side, and you're not going to see it from the viewpoint of Christ. You're going to see it from the flesh, from your two eyes as a fallen human being. So yeah, no cap. Man, last question, or second to last question. Is the NBA and NFL ever going to be the same like the old days?
That one's pretty self-explanatory. I think that's no cap. I mean, I think we've already passed that phase. It's never going to be the same. Everything's evolving, the game as itself. These greats have changed the game, and you can see just all the rules and money and society. It's never going to be the same. Like Drake said, nothing was the same. After all that, nothing was the same. Nothing.
Yeah. Man, let's see what our comments say. Mr. Thor or Mrs. Thor, I apologize if I got your pronouns mixed up. I apologize. We were trying to do the right thing. If you're a woman or a man, just let me know. I apologize. I want to make sure I'm saying you right. I think it's Valiant Thor. The open border was not a problem until 1935 when Roosevelt started the welfare state with all the freebies. Welfare, I mean, that's a whole nother thing, right? That's off subject though. I just wanted to read that comment. I don't identify with a political group. I'm a daughter of God. I respect that. That's my wife. Hey man, I'm gonna have to go with no cap. Like, I don't think it's ever going back to the old days, because your sports is like a mirror of what's going on in your civilization. You know, what's going on in your country. It reflects what's going on in your country. And I think the NFL, the NBA, they're just as woke. Even though they're a business, it's almost like they're a monopolized business, like they're too big to fail. And I just think that they are going to reflect whatever the big corporations and the politicians agree with, not what the middle American thinks. Whether you're white, brown, black, or yellow, pink, it doesn't matter. They don't care what you think. They care about what they think, because those are the people bringing in the big money to them. Why do you think tickets are $12,000? Middle America ain't paying for that. That's your huge celebrities. That's your huge corporations, people that fund the NFL, politicians, again, I already said celebrities. But I just think that, man, I think sports is a reflection of your society, and for as long as our society is going down the path it's going, I don't see the rules changing. I don't see the softness going away. Actually, I see it going worse. I mean, obviously, the Pro Bowl is now a flag football game. Point A. So my thing with you, man, I have to agree with you. No cap. I don't think it's ever going to go back to like the old days. We got another comment here. Democrats reject the idea that a person can overcome poverty through any private enterprise, saying that hard work, education, and personal responsibility are not a solution to poverty. A society can't survive with the government. A society that can't survive when the government encourages dependence on them. discourages faith, hard work, ambition, and independence, and the ability to take care of yourself. Man, I was butchering a lot of those words. Mr. and Mrs. Thor, I couldn't agree with you anymore. CJ, what's your thoughts on them comments, man, before we transition?
Man,
I know we kind of went backwards a little bit with the comment, but man, I had to read it because I mean,
me personally, I'm not gonna get too much into that. I ain't gonna lie. For them, I'm gonna kind of collect my thoughts and gather my.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot to take in right then and there. After moving on from that, but
I know
I'm gonna definitely hold on to that for next week, for when we do get back into it, so I can say what my part of that, what I have to say about that.
Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Thor, whoever you are, that's a hell of a comment. I respect it, and I mean, those are things.
No, absolutely, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought the welfare state, I thought it started in the 1960s. I can't remember what president started it, but it was really the downfall of really just the black community, though, too. Like it actually hurt the black family. It hurt a lot of people in that community. I mean, it like, man, I just think, yeah, that I didn't know that. So, man, it's nice to have someone in the comments. Again, our audience, y'all helping us out, man. We appreciate it. Again, we're young, we don't know it all, but we do like to think I do like to think we are willing to we know enough. But at the same time, no, man, we want our
don't
audience.
get it twisted, yeah.
Yeah, we know a little
I
bit.
know what I'm talking about, but
there's some things, man. Like that comment right there is priceless. I love what he says. So, Mr. and Mrs. Thor, we appreciate that comment, man.
That'll make you think.
Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. It's the last question. Were these signs or signals, whatever this was this demonic? I don't know. I'll let y'all be the judge of it. Tell me what y'all think, because man, this was weird. I'm not gonna lie. The whole Super Bowl was just weird in general. When you get aside from the game, like there was a lot of weird stuff in it, man. Y'all tell me what you think of this. It's almost like she got an earpiece in, saying, "Hey, the camera's on, go."
Mm-hmm.
Like
you were saying, though. I mean, the Super Bowl always has.
You know what that was, right? That was like I mean, check me. Anyone who wants to comment, let us know. But that looked like a Illuminati sign, something, man. That was weird, man. Like,
but that stuff. I mean, there obviously could be scenarios and situations.
Did you see what she was wearing though? She had an upside down cross.
Yeah,
that was an upside down cross, bro.
But I also seen. Dang, I wish I would have. I've seen that video on social media, and someone made a good point. Someone made a comment about something in the Bible that has to do. Dang it! I wish I would have kept it. Oh, I knew I should have screenshotted the comment.
We'll talk about it next Tuesday if you find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find it honestly, but they made a good point.
Hey, cap or no cap, was that demonic, or
I think it was
just making signs?
I think it was demonic. With them, you know, them people have been around longer than we actually realize. I mean, that they know what they're doing, dude. I mean, you always hear stories and stuff about it. No one just makes that kind of stuff up randomly. And if it's more than once, and it's obviously not just a coincidence, it's a reoccurring thing.
I mean, just like Jade said, the upside down cross says it all.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what is it
without the signs?
Yeah. What you know? What else is there to say about it? You know.
And that's my thing. It kind of leads to Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, all that stuff, right? Taylor Swift says she's a Christian, right? But she agrees with abortion. She agrees with all the things. That's one of her friends. She hangs out with that person. So, guys, just be careful who you idolize. First of all, we shouldn't idolize anybody but one person. But whoever you think is a role model, be careful who it is, because these people, they put on a face, but they are not who they say. The devil is one of the best people when it comes to gray, because he doesn't like the color black and white. He's gray. He's in the middle. He wants to confuse. Christ, he's black and white with it. Hey, This let your yes mean yes, let your no mean no. You know, these people, man, they will manipulate you, lie to you, and if you worship them, in a sense, idolize them, or they're your role models, even to a lower spectrum, dog, start doing some research because these people are not good people to look up to. I mean, what's her name? Ice Spice? Ice
I honestly don't even know.
Is it Ice Latte? Something like that.
Caramel monkey. No, I don't know.
Hey, man, whatever it is, man, it was crazy. I mean, God bless her, bro. I pray she changes her ways, man. But hey, it's time to transition. Let's get back to what we're known. Let's get back to know what we're known for, right? I want to talk about sports and God. Enough of the political side, man.
Games begin. Let
the games begin. Yeah, that's what that was supposed to say. Here we go, man. It's the next transition, hard transition. You know what time it is. Coaching exodus. It will happen, and it is coming, and it has already started. And we've already lost a lot of goats in 1 month. That was last month. We lost a lot of goats, NFL and college. Dog, coaches are leaving at an all-time rate. Why would you stay, especially at the college level? Why would you stay? Why would you stay? The transfer portal's out of control. The NIL stuff is out of control. There's no limitations. There's no rules. The NCAA, the non-caring a-holes of America, shout out to Coach JB, got it from him. Man, they don't care about these kids. It's either they're radical one way, either they're not doing enough or they're doing too much. Back in the day, they did too much. Nowadays, the NCAA, they're doing nothing. They're letting it crumble before their eyes, man. And my thing is, if I'm these huge SEC, FBS teams, I'm talking to all these other schools in the country. Hey, let's secede from the NCAA. Let's just be our own group. We don't need the NCAA anymore because they're not taking care of these kids. Because right now, college football is a professional sport. It is no longer just a normal student athlete at the college level.
No, that's out the window.
These are professionals. So why aren't they receiving agents? Why aren't we having more people talk about why these players aren't getting the help they need? We're overpaying certain players, and certain players feel like they're entitled to certain pay. And certain players are transferring because they're not playing, because now the transfer rules, you can transfer as much as you want. It doesn't matter. Obviously, I was affected by that. I was stupid when I was in college. I didn't do what I was supposed to. But obviously, social media and the way the culture was played a factor in my decisions when I was young. And also listening to coaches and just going off of the coach's word and not actually doing my research and lifting under rocks and actually seeing what this coach and this program is actually about. I just went. You know what I mean? Guys, it's a microwave society. It's instant gratification, and I promise you, you are in the wrong sport if those are the two things you are looking for. You have got to earn your right, bro. You've got to earn your right to play this game. You can't just go in the spring and think, oh, I didn't get my way, I got to transfer. That's not it.
Well, that's just how it is now. Just, you know what I mean? It's just being soft, man.
The rules allow it.
I have not too much to say about it. I mean, you hit it all. You hit it all out the park. I mean, the NIL just ruined it pretty much for everybody. I mean, at that point, I mean, yeah, everyone's still playing to play, but it's like at that borderline, I mean, you're playing to get paid. You know, most people play this for the love of the game, just to have that shot to go to the league. But now, I mean, people just worried about getting their name up, and which is, you know, that's good. They should make money off their name, you know, like, you know, big time names in college. But at the same time, it's just made everyone so sissified. I mean, things don't go their way. They transfer. You're trying to make your money for yourself. At the same time, some of them 5-star athletes, you notice they start to feel themselves a little bit, get too caught in the hype, and then they transfer. You know, one 500-yard receiving season and 2 touchdowns, and then already transferring. You know, it's just
this is a perfect transition to what you're talking about. Because look at this. This is wild, bro. This is wild. This player's threatening the coach to leave. You wonder why college football head coaches are fleeing their jobs. Maryland's Mike, I'm not going to try to butcher that name, said a third string running back demanded $100,000 or he was hitting the portal. It reads, and for the first time, because of this portal/NIL, your third team tailback is coming in saying, I need $100,000 or I'm going into the portal. And you're like, where does this magic $100,000 number come from? And it's just, I mean, I sat down in my office and every meeting I had was basically, and we're 7 wins and going to a bowl and taking the next step. But everything coming in, everyone and everything coming in was like, I want this, I want that. And the greatest team sport has now become kind of individualized. And I went home and I was like, man, I don't know how much I can do this because I'm about ready to come join y'all full time, man. Y'all got a room for me back at the studio or what? He's talking about joining a analyst, being an analyst. But I mean, that your third string running back, $100,000, homie. Your third string. You're at a Division I school. You got to work your way up, and you ain't happy about that. Cats, there's cats that would die to be in your position, bro. Work your way up, bro.
With no
you
money.
Want $100,000, bro? What's your thoughts on that, man?
Man, that's just being a Madonna, man. That's just nonsense, dude. I hate to be mean. We clown people like that who think they're the man, but don't do man tendencies. I mean, you can't tell me you man. I don't even know how to put an analogy to that, but that's just, man, that's crazy talk. Dude acting like he Johnny Manziel and he's over here four string and don't do nothing. You know, it's just that's what ruined the whole game. I mean, I was so happy for the NIL, and once it first started, but once it started going downhill, you knew it was a bad idea after that. Too many, and I love it. People are trying to get paid, but like you said, you get lost in the sauce a little bit, and then people become demanding, and then it's ruined now. It's dang near like the NFL. I mean, it's
not
going
even NIL.
Yeah.
It's not even name, image, likeness. No, you're getting sponsored by a corporation or a business like a car dealership, and you're getting brand new cars, and you're getting $1 million from that corporation or that business.
Yeah.
It's not jersey sales.
Yeah.
It ain't
people, them athletes now are, making their jerseys, having people do that, and people buy that kind of stuff, the merch.
Bro, and it ain't like your face is on a video game and you're going to compensate it for it.
Yeah.
It ain't even that. Like, bro, no, you're having these big, huge corporations or businesses trying to promote players to come to this team. We'll give you $1 million, come to Utah. We'll get you a new Lambo. Like, dog, no wonder coaches don't want to coach anymore. That's what we got to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with that.
Yeah.
Hey, don't come to my school. Like, we're here to win. And this is another thing too. That left tackle at Texas A&M Kingsville, how do you think he's feeling? He ain't getting paid a dime. But his quarterback's making $2 million, but that left tackle is the number 1 tackle on that team. Or maybe he's making a few $100 a week, or maybe a couple thousand a week, right? Compared to your 100,000 a week. How is he feeling? Because if it wasn't for him, you ain't successful. You're not doing what you're doing. My thing is we need to compensate all these players evenly if we're going to actually do the thing, or we just need to make it true NIL, and that's it.
Yeah.
No corporation should be able to come in and be able to just say, hey, man, look, Coach Saban, I got you. Pretending he was still there. Hey, I'm gonna get this kid for you. I'll give him $1 million if he can come to Bama. All right, I'll help you with him. No, that shouldn't be legal. The only thing that kid should be able to do is just do the NIL, what it was meant to be, and go from there, man. I mean, dude, it was ridiculous, but the coaching exodus is real, and I do see us losing coaches. And obviously, man, we're getting softer. I see us losing players too. Hey, man, before we transition, y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button. For all the people who are still here, man, please, please, please help us out. Hit that like button. Ready? We're going to count down. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hit that like button. Here we go, man. We appreciate it. We love y'all. We appreciate the support. Like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, share it to your friends. Help us out, man. Shoo. Nick Saban's retirement from college football and welcome to College Game Day SEC Media Day coverage and draft is the beginning of the coach's exodus. As I've already mentioned, we already know, we already discussed it. Even though we ain't playing the game, that's no cap, man. I gotta tell you on that. But with all that being said, man, Last subject, bro. We're gonna hit it and we're gonna get out. Be about Father's business. Are you about your Father's business? And the video I'm gonna play kind of explains what we're gonna talk about.
Anything different? The servant is no different than his master. Jesus said, I am the master, you are the servant. Where I am, there my servant will be. He preached the truth. We got to be about the truth, about our Father's business. He said, where I am, there my servant will be. Take a look, there he is. On a cross. I must be lifted up in order to draw all men to myself. Now, you live the truth in season and out of season. You boldly proclaim it. Demand it of your family. Don't be intimidated or afraid. Don't be pushy about it. Don't have a chip on your shoulder. Don't be picking fights. But quietly, strongly, you live your faith, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Where I am, there my servant will be. You'll be on a cross, all right. You will be on a cross, I guarantee it, but you need to be. No pain, no gain, no cross, no crown. And don't ever forget it, because that's where the power is.
Hey, man, a lot of truth. God bless Father John Karapi. May God rest his soul. Dog, are you about your Father's business? And this is a question to all of our audience. Are you about your Father's business? Or I should restate it. Be about your Father's business. The road to heaven is a narrow one, and it's easy to fall off. You will stumble, you can fall off, but it takes a saint to be able to want to get back on, or at least someone who's striving to be a saint, to be holy. Be about your Father's business. And the way you can do that is picking up whatever you struggle with, right? Your struggles, your pain, your regrets, everything that you wish you could have done, all the pain and suffering you're going through financially, mentally, physically. Don't let a good pain go to waste. Pick up your cross, because those things are your cross. Just like Jesus carried the cross, that cross he bared that because that cross was all of our sins. He bared that pain, that struggle, that abuse he went through mentally, physically. He bared all that, and he calls us to do the same. And if we do not pick up our cross and follow Christ, we won't make it to the kingdom, because we chose the wide gates, the easy, the natural path. It takes a saint. It takes someone who's striving to be holy to get their cross and to pick up. And this isn't me or CJ saying like, oh, we're holier than thou. We're not saying that, oh, we're just so good. That's not what we're saying. But what we are saying is you have to strive for perfection. Who was the only perfect man to ever come across this country, this world? Jesus Christ. And I needed to correct myself. I meant to say this world. Jesus Christ was the only perfect human being to ever come into this world. So when it comes to Jesus, what he did, we are called to emulate that. You are meant to strive for perfection, because if you strive for perfection, you'll be great. You'll reach greatness, because none of us will ever be perfect. But you are called to strive for it. You strive for greatness, you'll be good. You strive for good, you'll be mediocre or below. And at the end of the day, greatness is the only thing that can get us there. Greatness. But how do you get greatness? You strive for perfection. You have to strive to be perfect in everything you do. But the only way you can do that is if you pick up your cross and carry it. So I play that video, and I say all that to say this. Me and CJ, man, we came to Christ in two different ways, man. Obviously, and Thailand did too. But man, what we're going to talk about a little is how we came to Christ, what we're struggling with a little bit, but what are some of the things that we help pick ourselves up to keep carrying our cross on the daily. And we're going to talk about how we came to know Christ and what we're doing to try to emulate him and how we're going along this path, man. And I'm not going to lie, like, and we're going to talk about this every few weeks, man. We're going to say where we're at. We may be at a low point, maybe at a high point, but you're going to get straight authenticity from us. CJ, man, what was your faith journey like, man? Where'd you learn about Christ, and what helped you get to where you're at now, and what is your goals, and what are you striving to do here in the next year when it pertains to that relationship with him?
Man, it's been a journey within myself, within just everything I've been through. You can tell the person I am, the energy, the aura I have about myself, the energy I have. It's just a reflection of the man I am right now and the stuff I've been through my whole life right now. So far, I know I still got a long way to go. I'm learning just like anybody else. I'd be lying if I said I had a blueprint. I had all the answers, but I don't. And just I've always grown up. I'd like to say as a good person, I've always had the drive to do the right thing. All that's just the way I was raised. You always do the right thing. You do as you're told. You you do the right thing when no one's watching. And when I was younger, probably when I was about eighth grade, maybe sixth or so, I always grew up when my grandma made us go to church. My old man, he made us go to church too. And I just, I always would see people so happy, when it came to the Lord, in church. And I always wondered, I would go to church. I'm going to be man enough to admit, but when I would go, I wouldn't really lock in, I wouldn't really decipher what he was saying. And one day, I told him, because, I'm OCD, you see me moving around. That's just the person I am. I move around a lot. But just one day, I really locked in and just listened, and just these stories that, the preacher was just talking, it just really captivated me and made me reel in, and it just made me kind of just that switch that went off of me, and I'm just like, wow, like that's the happiness I want to pursue. I want to be that happy. I always want to do the right thing. I want to make it to heaven. Obviously, I don't want to go to hell. No one does. I feel like I speak for everyone on that nature, but me as a person, I've been through a lot. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to get too sappy, too deep into it. I'm sure I will as time goes on, but there's a lot of times where I shouldn't have been here, and I'm blessed enough and fortunate enough to say the good Lord spared me, and I'm still here right now. And just my whole journey as an athlete, when there's a lot of times where I didn't believe in myself, and I kept grinding and working, and I kept believing in Him so much when nobody believed in me. He showed me the way, and I was blessed enough to get a shot. I've all these accolades and everything is because of Him. All this talent, this vision, this dream, these dreams I've had in my head. If we were all the same, we'd all have the same dreams, same ambitions, same goals, same everything, but that's not the case. And just the way He's blessed my life in so many ways that I'm fortunate. And right now, like Clayton was saying, in this point in my life, I feel like I'm in that phase of learning. I'm taking what He's giving me. I'm trusting in Him. I'm doing my work like I need to do. Just like I'm a work and grind, and I'm gonna keep praying. So, and He's gonna show me. I'm gonna keep doing my part. I can't pray and want these things and not put in the work. I can't put in the work spiritually. I can't. Without spiritually too, but without within myself, trying to be a better person, trying to better me as a man, as a brother, as a friend, reaching out to you as a son, as a coworker, so many aspects in my life. I've always had a high drive to be great, and especially with the Lord, it's just gone more and more better over the years. And Clayton, better than anybody. I won't go into deep context about a lot of things, but I'm fortunate just to be here. He spared me in so many ways that every day I'm just thankful of, And I would just say I'm in that phase of my life with Him. I'm learning and I'm believing goes without saying. Basically, is He telling me, hey son, just work, do your part, do what you need to do, believe in me, and I'll help you out.
Most definitely. And man, to piggyback off what Chris said, man, is the way Chris is describing belief, it's really belonging, because that's what he's trying to do, and that's what I'm trying to do. Because as me and you both know, man, like even the devil believes in God. You are someone that's trying to belong to Him, and that's why I commend you so much, bro. Despite my downfalls, our downfalls, that's what we're striving to do, is belong. And that's one reason why I wanted him on the podcast, because I know his heart. I know he's trying. And I want someone that emulates that. And I want someone that has the same type of mentality of when it comes to striving towards the Lord. And man, I mean, that was a great story. I mean, and it's truly beautiful. And it goes to show, like, God will meet you wherever you're at. Like, whether you're addicted to drugs, all you do is smoke marijuana and sit on your butt all day, and you don't know what to do with your life, your wife left you, you lost it, whatever, or whether you have mental issues. I'm not going to go in detail. No matter where you're at, Christ will meet you at that level. You can go to him. He'll meet you. And guess what? If you let him, he'll bring you up. And that's one thing with me. I was born Catholic. I had enough of a foundation to where I knew what it was, but I didn't know why I believed. You know what I mean? It was almost like habitual. And I blame the era we live in. I blame the era we live in because, like, I ended up leaving the church. I went to some of these different Protestant denominations. You know, I've been to Assemblies of God. Obviously, me and CJ both have. Assemblies of God. I've been to Baptist, been to Lutheran. I've been to non-denominational. I've been to all these churches. Me and my wife have too. Man, and I just it was tough because I didn't know like what I had, and I left it. And when I really started studying, well, really before I even get to that, when I was a young man, I had this miracle. I had this beautiful thing happen to me when I received a blessing from, I think he was an ex-priest. He was not healthy, so he could no longer remain a priest. He was very old. He was blind too, but he was giving out blessings. It was like this. They were doing it they were doing it out in this pasture, right? He's giving out blessings. He'd do the sign of the cross. He'd say a prayer. I think he was saying it in Latin, I would assume, and he would touch your forehead. And I'm young. I'm old enough to remember it, but too young to appreciate it. You know what I mean? But I'm so glad I remembered it because at the time when it happened, I see him doing it, touching these people on the forehead after he gives them the blessing, and they're just falling. I'm thinking this is just kid mind. I'm thinking it's a clown show. I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? You know, I think they're just trying to be in the moment. You know, we all know what that looks like. We've been to some of them churches. They be trying to be in the moment, and it comes off as unauthentic. So that's how I was thinking. I'm like, what's going on? You know, I don't know what to think. But as the line shortens up, and it's hot, it's humid, it's South Texas. You know how it is, bro. It's Southeast Texas. Mm-hmm. And it's my mama's turn, my grandma's turn. Then it comes up, it's my turn. And they have two people behind you to catch you. I'm a kid, so I'm accepting of anything. I want to get to know Christ. I want to get to know I want to get to know who he is. So as a child, I said, God, whatever this is, I mean, I accept it. I know you're real, but I just don't know what this is. But I accept you, you know, whatever it is. And this is just going in my mind, right? We weren't told to think this. We weren't told to say that, none of that. We were just there to get a blessing. And he's going, I'm looking at him as a kid. I'm supposed to close my eyes. I'm not closing my eyes. I'm looking at him. He's saying his prayer, and he has his hand on my head. And as he says the prayer, in Latin, from what I assume, he does the sign of the cross. Then he touches my forehead. When he touches my forehead, dog, it felt like everything left my body. Something left my body. When I say left, like got hit with a ton of bricks, you know, but it went out and then something came back in. But it was such a powerful force. I felt like I couldn't control it. It was like something just punched me in the gut with 1,000 bricks. You know what I mean? And it left my body and came back in. I don't know. Obviously, now I know it's the Holy Ghost, but it was I fell and they catch me. And then I opened my eyes like I went to sleep. Like it felt like I went to sleep for a split second. And I get up and I'm like, Mama, that was crazy. I didn't know, you know, but it was like that right there was a driving force, you know, like, all right, there's something here. Someone's here. That's what sparked and unfortunately, most people don't get to experience those type of miracles, you know, but it was like, that's the one. I had a second instance that happened last weekend, but it's nowhere near as like powerful as that, but it was still awesome. But that right there, man, got my mind open. But then fast forward 6 years later, I still denied Christ and I was agnostic and I didn't even really know when I was at Assemblies of God. I was like, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. So it goes to show God sent his only begotten son to earth, and we still killed him. No matter, even all the miracles he performed, we still killed him, dog. God can do whatever. At the end of the day, it's not about seeing. You still got to make that decision. Do I belong to you? And after doing all my studying in theology, and I'm not acting like I'm a theologian by any means. I have a lot more to learn. But just from the basics of it, history brought me back to the church, and it brought me back to the fullness of Christ, and it brought me back to the Catholic Church. After studying, doing a deep dive, because when I came back to Christ, after going to all these denominations, after I dropped out of SAGU and I started getting on fire a little bit for God, I was like, well, I know Christianity is the way, like, because I mean, first of all, I'm evidence based. The evidence makes sense, and it's the only religion that's different from every single one. That's not why I chose it, but it is. It's the only one that's based off of love for His creation. Everything else is based off of the God or gods and their creation, or treating them as slaves, or their entertainment. Christianity is not that. It's not that. It's the only religion in the world where God created us out of love for His own creation. And dog, it's been a journey, and especially these past few years, I've really honed in on studying. I can't remember what verse this is, but it says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. We perish because we don't know. Our ignorance is life-threatening. And I've heard that's another great quote. Shout out Coach JB. Ignorance is life-threatening. And it even says it in scripture. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. When you don't know, you are susceptible. You are susceptible to the enemy. And studying history led me away from the denominations, and it brought me back to Catholicism because of it, because of the thousands of years of not only evidence, but tradition and authenticity and actual answers I got that I couldn't get from Assemblies of God, that I didn't get from some of these denominations. And that's a little bit about my faith journey. I'm not going to kill it on it too much. But man, at the end of the day, we're all on this same journey. And at the end of the day, if you are open to the truth and you want to know, the only way you can know is through knowledge, through history, through studying, through being on fire to know Christ. Because it not only starts through history, through studying, but it also starts with that beautiful book that we have. It's called the Holy Bible. Read it. And if you don't like reading, type in Father Mike Smith, type in Bible in a year. He will literally read the whole Bible to you. He will literally read it to you, and all you have to do is listen. He does it. It lasts, each podcast is 20 minutes a day. And I didn't think I was going to go giving people shout outs on here, but if there's one person I'll definitely give a shout out to, it's Father Mike Schmitz, man. Shout out to Father Mike Schmitz. I love you, man. We love you. For those of you who don't know who he is, man, he is a beautiful human being from the inside out. Like, he's an awesome dude. It's called Bible in a Year. And if you don't know what it is, I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to share my screen just for everyone who is interested in listening to the Bible every single day for a whole year. And listen, if you miss a day, it's okay. Right now, I'm on day 41, or tomorrow morning, I'll be on day 41. I've missed a few days. Excuse me. I've missed a few days because obviously I'm fallen just like everyone else. But this is a great thing that I think people should get to know, and I think y'all would love it. I'm sharing my screen right here. The Bible in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz. They go into every detail of the Bible, and they talk about the history of the church and how Jesus Christ formed his church and the apostolic tradition and theology behind our faith. And man, dude, if you are a diehard Christian and you're trying to get to know Christ, man, I really suggest this right here. I think this would be great for y'all. And for anyone who may be offended by us, some of the topics we talk about, if we say things wrong, again, we're young, we're still learning. We have a lot to learn, but at the end of the day, we do apologize. We're not here to hurt anybody's feelings for any of the topics that we talk about. But at the end of the day, though, me and CJ will tell you, we're not going to apologize about the topics that we talk about.
Because it is our podcast and you want to listen. And you listen.
Unless YouTube cancels us and we go to Rumble. But hey, we love y'all. And this is coming from the bottom of my heart. We're just trying to have fun. We're trying to spread the word. We're trying to tell the truth. But at the end of the day, we got to talk about some uncomfortable subjects. And also we got to talk about our faith and the nitty gritty and what the truth is. Because, man, Jesus Christ spoke on hell more than anything else. People won't tell you that, especially in the woke society we live in today. We're going to talk about all the things, man. And that's what this podcast is. It's not just sports. It's not just politics and life. It's faith, man. And faith is the foundation of this podcast. Man, it's been a heck of a night. A great way to end the week, boy. I love it. I love this. Man, if y'all don't, man, go follow my dog CJ, man. It's at the CJ Rosales, right? Underscore.
Yes, it is. The CJ Rosales.
At the CJ Rosales. No underscore, no nothing, right?
No, nothing.
Hey, that's THECJROS. Finish the rest.
ALES.
There you go, baby. Hey, y'all like that rap I just did? I know. I'm good at it. I'm smooth with it. Hey, man. Before we hit this hard transition, man, CJ, you got any last words for the people, bro?
No, all I can say is thank y'all for tuning. Obviously, we're new to this, so we're still learning. I mean, we're just like anybody else. We take what we get with a grain of salt. I mean, anything else, just all this, we're just learning. I mean, we don't mean to hurt nobody's feelings, but at the end of the day, the reason you listen to this is because of our thoughts and ideas and the way we view things. But other than that, I mean, if y'all are going through a hard time or need anything, feel free to message me. I'm sure Thailand, who could be here today, I'm sure. I know that man would reach out and help anybody, just like I would him, or just like Clayton would help me, you know, him, and anybody else. So I mean, if y'all ever need someone to talk to, or if y'all want to talk about some things, feel free to DM me. You know, the podcast, you know, Clayton or Thailand, any of us, and we'll get to it.
On me, man. And if feel free to put it in the comments too. If it's
absolutely.
Put it in the comments, man. Tell us if there's anything you want us to pray for. We'll definitely pray for it. I'll say a rosary for you. It's Lent season, guys. For those of you who don't know what Lent is, it's the start of the 40-day journey to Easter. I challenge you, sacrifice something from your life that you enjoy, but also add something to your prayer life that you feel like you are lacking. Do those two things, man, for Lent. Give that to Christ, man. The 40 days he served in the desert, because he did serve. He did a lot. He struggled. He went through temptation. He sacrificed, but he did win, because you are a winner at the end of the day if you are part of his kingdom, man. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Please go take a visit of our website if you don't know what it is already, at addressingthegame.com. Please go visit it. Please, and also again, put in any prayer requests or anything you want to talk about, or any suggestions you have for the show. Like, put it in the comments, go to the website, email us. It's there. We will get the email. We will talk to y'all and talk to us in the comments, man. If y'all speak to us in the comments, we'll speak back. We will engage with the audience. We're not like all these bougie cats on YouTube that think they're too good, man. We'll engage for as long as we can until the comments get too much. Then we'll have to pick and choose. But we're gonna do everything we can, man, because at the end of the day, without y'all, there is no us. There is no podcast. So we love y'all, man. With all that being said, we're going to go ahead and say a prayer. Chris, do you want to say a personal prayer? You want me to say it's whatever you want to do, brother?
You go ahead, brother.
So I'm going to say a personal prayer, then a scripted prayer. For those who don't know, a personal prayer is just going to come off the top of my head. I'm going to let the Holy Ghost speak. And then I'm going to say a scripted prayer. We're going to say the Hail Mary today, and then we're going to break it out. We're going to call it a day, baby. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Father God, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the opportunity to just be able to reach people, whether it's one person or 1 million people. Father, we're just blessed to be able to spread your name and your truth, the truth. And we're just so thankful, Father. Whether however much success we have, Father, we really don't care. We're just here to help impact at least one life, to be able to change for the better, and to be able to chase you and to chase you and chase your heart. Father God, we praise you, we thank you, and we love you, and we ask you to help us fulfill your will today to the best of our ability, to let not our will, but thy will be done, and to help us become the saints that you called us to be, to help lead our families and our loved ones down that narrow path, and also ourselves down that narrow path, to get to know who you are and to get to know everything that you bring to us. But Father God, we know it doesn't come without sacrifice. So I ask you to help bless whoever is listening to this podcast to be able to be open to you, to be open to the truth, and to be able to change their life and to chase after your own heart and to do away whatever that's keeping them back from that. In Jesus' name I pray. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Boy, it was a good show, man. I can't wait to see y'all next week. For whoever comes back, it's going to be a great show. We're going to talk you up real quick. Hey, we love y'all. We praise Jesus. We appreciate everything you did. We hope y'all come back and see y'all next Tuesday. I'm Clayton Stallings.
CJ Rosales.
We out this thing, boy. Yeah.
You're only half happy, or
still to be happy about.
You're up too old.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Now the motion man goes to the left. Over the middle. Wow. Chipped up and caught. What an athletic play there by number 84, Clayton Stallone.
Yeah, that was it. And with that, I know I can't wait.